Hi, I'm Lorna Williams, a trained mathematics teacher. Welcome back to my channel, Bloom Your Math, and A is your grade. This is a class where I teach you mathematical concepts and then provide you with worked past paper questions in our Take 5 series. Today, our topic is substituting numbers for letters. Let's get started. So, we're going to start this topic called substituting numbers for letters. And today, we are doing our Take 5 series. So stay with me until the very end. We're going to start with the first 3 questions and then we move on to 4 and 5 afterwards. So only 3 questions are on the board right now. Okay? All right. So what do you think is the meaning of the word substitute? Just give me one word. Replace. Excellent. Replace. Substituting numbers for letters means that we are going to replace the letters with numbers. So again, question 1 says if P equals 5, Q equals 0, and R equals -3, calculate the value of 2R cubed, or 2R to the 3rd power. It means the same thing. All right, so we need to expand it. And you don't really need that, but I just don't want you to make a mistake. So work out what 2R cubed means in its expanded form. 2 times R times R times R. If you remember, the 3 tells me how many times we are going to multiply R. Okay, so how many R's do we have here? 1, 2, 3. If this were square, how many R's would we have? Only 2. All right. So now we're going to replace the R with -3. So 2 times -3, and we're writing -3 how many times? 3 times. And let's multiply them 2 by 2. 2 times -3 is -6 times -3 times -3 is +9. 3 3s, 9. Negative times negative is positive. Remember, when you're adding, it's a negative number because you owe 3 and you owe 3. But this is a multiplication sign. Do not mix it up, right? So negative times negative is positive. Final answer, 9 6s, 54. So we multiply the numbers and we multiply the signs. Negative times positive, negative. And that's our answer. Don't you think that was easy? Yeah, man, I see it in my face. All right. So if P equals 5, Q equals 0, and R equals -3, calculate 4P minus QR. 4P minus QR. So remember, 4P is 5, but 4P does not mean 45. That is important. 4P is a short form for 4 multiplied by P. And QR is a short form for Q multiplied by R. So now we have 4 multiplied by P has a value 5 minus Q has a value 0 and R has a value -3. So we have made the substitution, which is what the topic of today's lesson is all about. We are replacing these letters with numbers. 5 4s, 20. Minus 0 times -3 is 0. 0 times any number is 0. And we're going to look at those laws later on. So we don't need to put a bracket around the 0. And we all know 20 minus 0 is 20. And would you believe that this is a past paper question? Yeah. I feel you're all going to come up with a grade 1, you know. I'm going to pray for you, but at the same time, I want you to practice. Because math is something you do. All right, so question 3 says, given that A equals 4, B equals -2, and C equals +3, calculate the value of A squared minus BC divided by B plus C. Let's make the replacement. A squared, we know A is 4. So that's 4 squared minus B times C. B has a value, -2, and C has a value, 3. All over, B is -2 and C is 3. So we all know 4 squared, don't it? 4 squared is the same as 4 times 4, and that's 16. The 2 tells me how many times I am going to multiply 4. It doesn't mean 4 2s 8. Remember that. So we are multiplying, and if you want, and you feel like you're going to make a mistake, just write out the expanded form. So 4 times 4 is 16, minus -2 times 3 is -6, and you have 3 and you owe 2. -2 plus 3 means you have 1, because you have more than what you owe. Negative means you owe, positive means you have. Now you have a minus and a negative beside each other. Do you remember the rules for subtraction of positive and negative numbers? Again, please check out my videos. And if you like it, what we're doing so far, like, share, and subscribe. All right, so a minus and a negative will give me a positive. 16 plus 6 and over 1. And 16 plus 6 is 22. 22 over 1 is the same as 22. Any number divided by 1 gives me that number. All right? Question 4 says, if L equals -2, N equals -3, and M equals 4, calculate the value of M plus NL divided by N minus M. Now remember that this is in a fractional setup. So this here is a numerator. The top part is the numerator, and we want to try to find that single value that it works out to be. And the bottom part is the denominator. And then when we're finished calculating, we're going to divide the numerator by the denominator. Understand? All right. So M has a value what? 4. We're making a substitution. We are replacing the letters with numbers. NL, N has a value -3, and L has a value -2. But you notice NL is in its short form, so we want to expand it. NL means N multiplied by L. So we simply multiply the value of L is -2. Now, because from BOMDAS or PEMDAS, we normally multiply first, and we are really multiplying these two numbers. So it would be neater to put them in brackets and work them by themselves. All right? And then we're going to divide now by N, and N has a value -3, and M, there's a minus sign there before we touch the N, so please don't forget the operation signs, and M has a value 4. Now each step will simplify the answer. So let's begin. 4 plus, and now we're multiplying -3 times -2. Negative times negative is positive, and 3 times 2 is 6. -3 minus 4 is -7. And remember, if you forget how to subtract positive and negative numbers, please check out my video. I've taught that at length. All right, and then 4 plus 6 is 10, and the denominator has a value -7. But I don't want you to leave the answer where the negative is in the denominator. I simply want you to realize that the whole fraction can be negative. How? This 10 without any sign is a positive 10. Now, let's do this division. This line means division. Do you agree? Yes. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. And we have 10 over 7. Now, that cannot be cancelled or reduced any further. So the answer is -10 over 7. So notice that the whole fraction is negative. I've removed the negative from the denominator and made the whole fraction negative. Awesome? All right. Question 5 says, given that m equals -3, n equals 2, and p equals -1, find the value of m, open bracket, p minus n, all squared. Now notice it's not n that is squared, but everything inside the bracket is raised to the second power, meaning that we're going to multiply whatever we work out inside the bracket to be. After we have worked that out, we're going to multiply it by itself. That's what square means. And then the denominator is 3p plus m. So here is the numerator. And here is the denominator. So m is -3. And p is -1 minus n is 2. Raised to the second power, that's 2. All right, all over 3p. And so 3p is 3 multiplied by the value of p, which is -1, plus m, which is -3. So we're now going to simplify. -3 inside the bracket, -1, the bracket means to multiply, remember? All right, so let's simplify what's inside the bracket. -1 minus 2 is -3. And this -3, not this one is raised to the second power. 3 times -1 is -3 plus -3. So what's the final answer now? Well, for the top one, negative squared, let's do a little rough work column. -3 squared means -3 times -3. Negative times negative is positive, and 3 3s is 9. Get that? So this part alone works out to be 9, positive 9. And before the bracket is a -3. Remember now, the bracket means to multiply. We're working the denominator now. -3 plus -3, meaning you owe 3. Remember, negative means you owe, positive means you have. There is no positive here. This is not positive, this is a plus sign. So you owe 3, and the plus sign means and. So you owe 3 and you owe another 3, now you owe 6. So let's go down further. -3 times positive 9 is -27. And that's divided by -6. Are you getting that? And 27 over 6 can be reduced to its lowest term. If you leave it like that, you will be penalized. So ensure that you can find that single number that can go into the top and bottom without leaving a remainder. So 3 into 27 goes 9, and 3 into 6 goes 2. And that's the final answer. So that's it from Bloomere Math. Affirm today I can achieve excellence in mathematics. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You may ring the notification bell to alert you when I get new videos. Bloom Your Math, signing off.